Thank you all for coming. My name is Ed Campbell. I'm president of the Newport News Shipbuilding Company. We're delighted to welcome you not only on my own behalf, but on behalf of our 28,000 employees at Newport News.
Now let us bow our heads in silence and in thanksgiving and in respect to those 37 members of the crew of the USS Stark who made the supreme sacrifice for their country.
For us shipbuilders, however, it's also an event of great historical significance, filled with pride, but also with another strong emotion, and that is one of sadness, since the launching of the Albany marks the end of a tradition, the ending of an ancient tradition, a custom which has been observed in this shipyard for over 100 years. The Albany will enjoy a unique place in our history and a particular chapter in our hearts. For she will be the last ship launched by sliding down the inclined ways here at Newport News. Never again, we feel, will there be quite the same chill along the spine, the lump in the throat, the tear in the eye that comes of watching a ship that we have conceived, a ship to which we gave form and life, slip gracefully away down the inclined way, unlocked from the land, and now her bow curved to the sky as the sea welcomes her to her true element. However, to launch the next ship, we will only have to roll her out on a self-propelled conveyance system to a floating dry dock. The dock will be flooded, and the ship will feel the chill of salt water for the first time. It will still be exciting, I think, but it will be different. It will be a change. And that's fine too, because change is a way of life here at the yard. Change is another one of our great traditions. And if it weren't, we couldn't, after 100 years, still be the best shipyard in the country. And that, without any qualification, is exactly what we are. You agree to that, right?
Albanians have always answered their country's call to duty. As our traditions mean so much to us, it is significant that we carry on yet another tradition here today in our partnership with the United States Navy. On behalf of all of us from the capital city of the great Empire State, my sincere thanks for allowing us to share this day with you.
1986 was the tricentennial of the city of Albany, New York, as has already been indicated. Mayor Whalen had organized an outstanding series of events to celebrate this happy occasion: rowing regattas, balloon ascensions along the banks of the Hudson River, and other social events. At the same time, a group of former Navy personnel commented that over the years, dating back to the War of 1812, the name of New York's state's capital has been borne by 3 naval ships, most recently the World War heavy cruiser Albany, now no longer in commission. As a result, we tried to see if perhaps in this centennial year we might somehow find a way to restore the historic name of Albany to the Navy's fleet of active ships once again.
We have maintained this superiority because U.S. submarines combine in best measure stealth, mobility, endurance, and firepower. Albany will be able to deliver devastating firepower both at sea and with our newest cruise missiles ashore. Targets on the ocean, beneath it, or on land are vulnerable. The stealth of this submarine provides a terrible uncertainty to the enemy. This knowledge for any enemy, either Soviet or Third World, that the U.S. could retaliate against their most prized possessions without warning provides a definite restraint to adventurism. Men and women here in the shipyard build great submarines. The quality is superb. To every worker here at Newport News Shipyard, a shipyard that builds the most vital elements of our maritime strategy, submarines and aircraft carriers, you should understand that you are a national asset of great importance to this country.
So quite naturally, I called my good friend, the doctor, up and said, now look here, as I stand up there to introduce you, aren't there a few thoughts that you would like to have me convey? And without any hesitation and with his usual modesty, he said, freely use any number of superlatives you wish. Despite the flood of rhetoric today, the purpose for which we gather is to honor Nancy Kissinger and this ship. Nancy will follow the tradition dating back, indeed, to the time of the Phoenicians, the earliest days of seafaring, when the women imparted the strength and the spirit to the ship to protect the sailors, as she will this submarine, from the perils of the sea. So that you can gain some measure of the strength of character of this strong woman, Nancy Kissinger, I only remind you that her husband has moved freely among presidents, kings, queens, emirs, and fellow winners of the Nobel Prize. But he only met his equal once, Nancy Kissinger. The success or failure of America's role in the Gulf will depend not upon our heroic military, but on how well we as a nation and our leaders can articulate at home and abroad our policy. That observation brings me to the honor of introducing our speaker. Our honored guest today is a man who came from foreign lands to the promised land of opportunity and proved that America's system does work. He rose to that office second only in importance to the President of the United States, that of Secretary of State. The most respected praise that I or any other can state of Dr. Kissinger is that he has the ability, second to none in modern times, to formulate and articulate a strategic national policy that will be credible and that can be understood by the people of our nation.
I came into government from a university. And the first problem that I confronted was a war left to us by our predecessors in which 550,000 Americans were fighting 10,000 miles away under conditions of domestic discord and extraordinary internal debate. We had to deal with individuals who claimed that they had a monopoly on the desire for peace. And the president I served felt that the honor of the United States required that we could not abandon people who had staked their lives on our promises, and that you could not turn off an American major commitment like a television program in those difficult years. What sustained us was the dedication and the patriotism of the military services that under the most extraordinary difficulties, harassed by too many at home, sometimes with inadequate resources, carried out their assignments and sustained the honor of the United States and of the cause of freedom. The attack submarines are an essential component in making sure that no enemy can interrupt the supply lines or can launch a devastating strike against us. Conscious of the fact that I have been warned through all sorts of Navy sources, including retired chiefs of naval operations, that if I do not finish in 14 minutes, the submarine will disappear behind me. Which gives all of you, ladies and gentlemen, an opportunity to say that you were present at a historic occasion. So let me conclude by saying that I hope that the United States ship Albany will always serve the cause of peace. And if, despite our best efforts, it must be used in wars, it will never be asked to fight in a war which we are not prepared to win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kissinger. It is indeed an honor to have you here with us today, and you can rest assured, you and others, that we here at Newport News will do everything we can to provide the ships and platforms necessary to carry out the policies of the Navy and the United States government. Joe Holzbach is what shipbuilding is all about. He is, if you will, the shipbuilder's shipbuilder. We are very proud of him and of the thousands of employees, both past and present, who he represents today as triggerman. The lovely and gracious sponsor of the Albany, Ms. Nancy Kissinger. Like her husband, she has a strong background in foreign affairs. Our matron of honor is appropriately the very charming First Lady of Albany, Dennis O'Connor Whalen. She shares her husband's dedication to the well-being of the city and its residents. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome, if you please, for our sponsor and matron of honor.